as the beautiful sun begins to set in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. We'll welcome you into our program. Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Whitbread. If you're still in the stadium, it's a Friday night, and the Gulls remain undefeated. To my left is the right fielder and a pretty special player. He's the player of the game here at Gulls Field, wearing the new Lake Boys third jerseys. Please say hello to Riley Doig. Riley, congratulations on another Gulls home field win. That feels good to say.
Yeah, it's awesome. The boys are playing good right now. It's fun to be behind them. So.
Only one loss on the season. That came on the road to our arch rivals in Okotoks, but we see them Sunday afternoon. Riley, we had quite a show this weekend, but it's not over. A couple more games and one more against Edmonton. Obviously, these are lopsided wins. You got up for this. Edmonton brought the best effort they could, and I thought even better tonight. They're back again on Saturday night. How did you see this one as we roll the highlights from a Friday night?
I found we're just playing really good ball right now. The bats are rolling. The pitching's been great. Everything right now is going for us. So it's been awesome to play and fun to be around.
Well, we're going to talk about how you are a Central Alberta boy living out your dream and playing here in Central Alberta in just a moment. But James Brock, I thought the starting pitcher tonight in his second start here in Sylvan Lake really brought some heat, and he must be really a backbone to that pitching staff right now.
100%. He's a leader out there, too. He was here last year, so he's been good all year, and hopefully he can keep up with that.
Indeed. Obviously, the bats were hot. They were hot on Thursday night. And there's another one. And they were hot again tonight. Talk about the offense that this team brings, and all the players on this roster aren't yet in Canada.
Yeah, we got a good 1 through 9. It's not any cold spots in our lineup, so it's fun. Once one guy goes up, you got that little bit of a jolt from them, so it's fun to be behind someone hitting too.
Yeah, I mean, good baseball, good sport is scoring more than the other team. We're clearly doing that, and with all due respect to the prospects who are still building their program after an entire year off in the WCBL. But there is a lot of offense right now, mixed with defense, because you put up a zero spot.
Yeah.
Obviously, keeping them from scoring is one thing. So talk a little bit more, if you can, about the bats in your lineup.
The bats, we got our 1's going to be hitting, our 2's going to be hitting, everyone's going to be hitting. There's no cold spot in there. So when guys going up and having fun, you're always going to be better than the other team sometimes. So
yeah, we were talking to Cooper Sesaliski here last night on our broadcast. Coop says he's seeing the ball like a beach ball. He says right now everything coming across the plate, and that's no disrespect to the pitchers from Edmonton or from Brooks or any of the teams we've played here at Gulls Field. He's saying he's seeing everything. Are you feeling the same thing at the plate?
I am feeling the same thing. I feel like you follow someone up in front of you, and like as Cooper said, like he's hitting the ball amazing. So you're trying to do him. Another guy does it, then you're just having fun. Everyone's having fun.
Everyone seems to be having fun. We are too. By the way, welcome to the broadcast and welcome to our 4th episode of Beyond the Bases. My name is Joe Whitbread, the public address announcer here at Gulls Field. Along with our amazing crew, we're having fun in the stands, but this show broadcasts live to Facebook after every game. Doesn't mean you're watching live. Perhaps you're checking it out during the morning, the afternoon, or the evening during your work week. Riley Doig is our guest. Riley, listen to the stat line. 4 RBIs, 2 for 3 at the plate. You had a stolen base. You walked a bunch of times, which got you aboard, and you scored 3 runs. And oh yeah, you had a home run in the 6th. How did that feel?
That was awesome. Watching that ball go, seeing it off the bat, didn't even feel it. So those are the best ones.
Now, we mentioned earlier that you are a Central Alberta boy. A lot of people watching the WCBL and certainly the Sylvan Lake Gulls for the first time, maybe online or maybe the opportunity to catch a game this summer in Sylvan Lake. This is a large percentage of American or out-of-country players. But you're a Canadian kid playing in a Canadian market and very close to home.
Yeah.
What is that like for a local kid to do well in front of local family and friends?
It's awesome. You know, I've seen this team since I was in grade 10 when it first started, and just seeing it, I'm like, I want to be there. So going to the academy in Red Deer, St. Joe's with Jason, you always see those guys, you're like, I just want to be there. And finally to be here, it's awesome.
That is really exciting to hear. And, you know, we've never had this on our show or even at the stadium. My pal Jared Waldo, who runs around in the crowd giving away prizes with Morgan. Are you telling me you've been to Gulls games and begged Jared and Morgan for prizes?
I've never begged, but I've been in the berm, I think, 1 or 2 times. So I've watched some of the guys before me, and it's just awesome to finally be on the field, helping this team out, helping the town out.
It's really amazing for our leadership group, I'm sure, and only our 4th season to hear that we've got young people watching the games, coming to the building, this beautiful field. And if you're watching online and haven't had the opportunity, I sure hope you do. A lot of parents watching from the States. You've got people watching maybe who couldn't make it to the park this weekend or are watching this later in the week. I always give players a chance to say hello. Who would you like to say hello to, and add to the comments section below?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Ryan, my little nephews, Max and Watson. Hope they're all doing good. So love you guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, behind us on the field, it's Run the Bases night for Equus, as it always is after Gulls games. Riley, we're going to let you escape, sign a few more autographs, and go celebrate another home field win. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. Riley Doig, our right fielder here at Gulls Field, with an incredible night, including a long bomb. Incredible night. Hey, by the way, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are presenting 80s night here at the field. It's one night only, and it happens on Saturday night. If you're watching this later on in the week, well, obviously you missed it, but there are great highlights available right here on this page and our other socials as well. Saturday, June 1st, we'll kick off the month with lots of wild hair and some fun music at the ballpark. It's 80s night with your Sylvan Lake Gulls as we come back live on a Friday night to the ballpark. Riley's gone. He's going to go sign some autographs, but I want to introduce you. We had some special guests in the ballpark, good friend, and also the managing director of the WCBL. So league representation in our ballpark. This is Mark Stiles. Mark, welcome to the broadcast.
Joe, thanks for having me. And in the 80s, you and I had hair, okay? So I don't know what happened, but...
If the WCBL has a haircut sponsor this year, you don't have to worry about an extra one from me. Mark, it's great to have you as a representative of the Western Canadian Baseball League in attendance at a Gulls game. You certainly have to get around to all of the ballparks. Thanks for making Sylvan Lake a stop early in the season.
Well, I'm based out of Calgary, Joe, so I was telling Graham and Jen, your ownership group, I hope to be here 4 or 5 times this summer. Love the ballpark, love the fans, love the vibe. So it's great to be here. I'm on my way to Fort McMurray next week, where I will see the Giants play the Gulls. You guys happen to be up there.
Yeah, I love that. And for all of our viewers watching, the WCBL is definitely worth investigating here online. Follow all of the teams the best you can on Instagram or their X accounts or over on Facebook where you are. The WCBL is making waves, Mark. We're seeing attendance rise. We're seeing sponsorships rise. You're certainly on the forefront of those meetings. But this isn't just something or a flash in the pan. We're watching baseball come to Alberta.
Yeah, we're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So are we ever? Before I joined the league, I joined in September, Joe, as you would know, and I knew this was a growing league. But then I looked at, oh my gosh, everything's up. Attendance is up. Merchandise sales are up. Technically, one new team in Saskatoon, the Berries. Prospects are back. The Gulls played tonight and will play tomorrow night. So it's a 12-team league now, 7 in Alberta, 5 in Saskatchewan, and social media numbers are way up on all the platforms you just mentioned. And it's fun to be part of the WCBL. We're kind of, I like to say it because I believe it to be true. I said it on your broadcast earlier tonight. We view ourselves as Western Canada's fastest growing sports league because we are.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see because as we all know in Alberta and our viewers in Saskatchewan and even British Columbia, Manitoba, where the league doesn't necessarily have teams, but there are kids in this league. I call them kids at our age. They're kids and they're playing. The Canadian kids are from those places, the States. There's definitely an interest in baseball that's growing, and I think you and your league and the officials and the people behind the scenes are doing a really good job to promote that in communities just like this in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, which is a speck on the map for many people, but is certainly a hometown for raw baseball talent.
Oh my gosh, grassroots are so important to us, and you gave me a perfect intro to a program we're going to do for the second year. It's the Viterra Kids Camp. So the Gulls will do it. All 12 league members will do it. We had about 600 kids last year because of what you're talking about, growth at the grassroots level, which our clubs need and work with, the Gulls, whatever, work with the Little League, Baseball Alberta, whoever it might be, academies. So we hope to have, last year, 600 kids. We believe Viterra is our partner, so thank you, Viterra, and Jamie Young and everyone there. We believe we're going to have 1,000 people this summer between our 12 teams.
Absolutely incredible. And we know Riley Doig was our guest earlier as we wrap up our show tonight. Riley was a little kid watching Gulls baseball, and now he's hitting home runs at home games. And I think that is a result of the incredible kids programs, the grassroots programs you're talking about. Congratulations to you and everyone at the WCBL. And thanks for coming out to Gulls Field. We love sharing. Can you come back in August and maybe give us a trophy? Would that be something that maybe...
Well, we have 11 other members that we would have a different agenda. All 12 teams will be fighting for that trophy, but it will be presented somewhere in Alberta or Saskatchewan at the end of August for certain. So thanks for having me, Joe. Really appreciate it. One quick shout out. We do have a brand new website, WCBLbaseball.com. We're still, we just think it's going to be a great fan experience. So anyone that wants to know more about anything as it relates to the Western Canadian Baseball League, all 12 clubs, the Viterra Kids Camp we just talked about, is there for you, WCBLbaseball.com.
Thank you very much. Mark Stiles is the managing director of the WCBL as we wrap up on a Friday night, a good one too. Mark and the WCBL team in attendance were on our broadcast with Jim and Kale. These highlights available there, of course, and you can check out all of our past game highlights. By the way, we have won every single game we've played. This one was a bit of a different one. Not a home game for the Gulls as the prospects await their building opening up. Glad to host their family, their friends, and glad to show off some talent, not just on field, but in the stands as well. Fans having fun, kids, families, and parents, and some long ball too. The Gulls tapping helmets, having fun as teammates, and learning about the Canadian culture for those who come from far away like Panama, the United States, or Olds, Alberta, like our first guest, Riley Doig. My thanks to our two guests, Riley Doig and Mark Stiles from the WCBL, as we bid farewell on behalf of the market in Bentley.